In this lesson, we're going to look at particularly hard change the subject of a formula, where the subject you're looking for appears twice. You can see in this question the subject is x, and you can see it appearing on both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Now this is really extension work. I've never seen an exam question, National 5, like this. It's not to say it couldn't come up, but it kind of more appears in ideas in higher maths, to be honest. But let's have a look at them. I'm going to go through 4 examples. Good to practice. Maybe pause the video and try them again before trying. There's some questions in the book there to try. The same technique applies each time, so we'll go through that. In this one, you'll see it repeating in the next 3 questions. Right, so the idea is to get the x's on the same side. So get them all to the left-hand side, because the subject should always be on the left-hand side, but it should be isolated and on its own on the left-hand side. Now to do that, I'm going to do a couple of things at once here, so try and follow me. I've got the cx here, and it's been added, so I need to do the opposite of add. So I'm going to take that away. You'll see that happening here. Now the b is being added here, so I'm going to do the opposite of add b, and I'm going to do that to the other side, so I'm going to take that away. So hopefully you followed that idea there. I just did 2 things at once. Now you don't need to do them both at once. You could take away the cx and have the plus b, and then take away the b, but I've done 2 things at once there. Again, it's just a wee bit of a quicker way to do it. So that's the first technique that you'll see kind of repeating. Move all the x's or the variable, whatever you're looking for, to the left-hand side. After that, the next technique is to isolate the x to get it on its own. We don't want 2 of them, we want it on its own. So in order to do that, you need to take out a common factor. So this is where factorising comes into play. So I can take out x as a common factor, and then I've got a minus c. Now I've got the x on its own, which is good. I don't have 2 anymore, which was a bit of a problem before. To get the x now, x has been multiplied by this bracket, so I can just divide by that whole bracket, a minus c. Now you'll notice I don't have the bracket in anymore. That's absolutely fine. You can keep the bracket in. I think in the following examples I've kept the bracket in, or you can put the bracket out. It doesn't affect the formula at all. Okay, so let's look at another idea involving that. A wee bit trickier because we've got brackets at the start here. So you'll notice again I've got the left hand side and I've got the right hand side. X is my subject, and I've got x's in 2 different places, which is the technique I'm teaching here. Now first of all, I would times out the bracket, because that's a bit of an issue. You've got a bracket in front of you, so times it out by the p. So we've got px plus 3p. Now it's very similar to the last one. We want to try and get the x's all on the same side, the left hand side. So we want to move all the x's to the left hand side. So I need to take this away. And I've got a plus n here, so I'm going to take that away from the other side. Again, you're going to see a similar idea here. We want to take out a common factor. Take out a common factor of x. That's going to leave you with m minus p, and the other side is going to stay the same. And then we can finish off by dividing by all of that, because all of that's been multiplied by x. You can divide by all of that at the same time to get x on its own. Okay, so 3p minus n all over m minus p. And again, you could keep the brackets in if you wanted, or you could remove them like I've done. Okay, 2 examples to go with kind of fractions in them. Okay, so what if a fraction appears and you've got the subject on the top and on the bottom? Right, well the first thing I would recommend you to do is to try and get rid of the fractions. So this has been divided by 2c, so I'm going to multiply that across to the other side. So you'll see that here. So multiplied across the other side. Now, after that kind of idea, look, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move the c's to the same side, the left-hand side. So that's been take away c, so I want to add it to the other side. And then again, you'll notice the same thing happening. You want to take out a common factor of c. So that will give you 2a plus, now it's not c times c that makes c, it's c times 1. And again, to finish off, we can divide by all of that bracket at the same time. b over 2a plus 1. Notice I've kept the brackets in this time. It doesn't really matter. So similar ideas, the only difference there, I got rid of the fraction right at the start by multiplying because it was dividing by 2c. Okay, this last one is really quite tricky, so we'll go through it, but have a shot at it again after I've finished the video. Right, so last one, we've got f equals g minus 1 over g plus 1. G is the subject. Now, like the last kind of example, you want to get rid of the fraction, so I want to multiply up by g plus 1. But because I'm multiplying by more than one term, I'm going to do it in a bracket, and you'll see here. See how I've put the g plus 1 in a bracket? Because I know I have to multiply both things by the f. And that's what I'm going to do in the next line. I'm going to times out the bracket, so it's going to be fg plus f. Let's have a look at that. Okay, now you're going to start noticing similar things to before. We want to move all the g's to the left-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to take that away from here. So because that's an add g, it's a plus g. I know this takeaway is here, but that's the 1. That's the takeaway 1, but that's a plus g. So to get it to the other side, we've got to take it away. This is a plus f, so I want to subtract that from the minus 1. Okay, so make sure you understand that's a minus 1 there. Right, again, similar. Take out the common factor. So you can notice here the common factor is going to be g. It's going to be f minus 1. We've got this on the other side. We're nearly finished at this point. To get g in its own, you can divide by the f minus 1 all at the same time. So f minus 1 there. Now you could leave it here. I'm just going to do a wee tidy up stage. Okay, so just to make it even a wee bit more tidy, but I'd be really happy if you got to that stage, you can take out a common factor at the top of minus 1. So that would look like this. If you take out minus 1, you'd have minus 1 plus f, just to tidy it a wee bit. And what I'll finish off by doing is I'll rearrange the f and the 1, just so as it looks like that. I've put the f at the front and the 1 at the back. So we've got minus bracket f plus 1 over bracket f minus 1. That's really difficult, so again, have a shot at that, but don't worry if you find it challenging.